Hello everybody, and in today's video I thought I would do something that I haven't really seen anyone do, and definitely not in any kind of detail, and that is changing your armor to complement the guns that you are currently using and the build that you want to be running when you are in the Crucible. So most people will tend to pick armor that just gets them to the highest level possible, and they'll tend to just sit on that armor forever. And for PvE, this is obviously important because being max level is going to be important when you're fighting against the monsters. But when you're playing the Crucible, your level does not really matter. It's all the other stuff that matters. So if I was going into the Crucible with this kind of setup, what I would use is, first thing, I would switch to my Gravebreaker 2.2s because they have increased reload speed with hand cannons. Then I would usually switch to this chest because it allows me to carry more ammo for shotguns, or if I actually had this one leveled up, I'd use this one because I can carry more ammo for special weapons. So I'll usually go ahead and pick this one. And then I will usually use this helmet because it has increased melee attack speed. And increased melee attack speed actually makes quite a big difference, and you can get off twice as many attacks as someone who doesn't have this stat on them. So this is the kind of thing that I will be running in the Crucible. I have increased melee attack speed, I have increased reload speed with hand cannons because I'm using a hand cannon. I can carry more ammo for shotguns, which is good if you're using a shotgun, and then I can also carry more ammo for heavy weapons, which is good whenever the heavy ammo drops. And you just go about this the same way as if you were using anything else. So say if I was using pulse rifles, I would go ahead and switch to these arms, which increase reload speed with pulse rifles. Now these arms also do have increased melee attack speed, so I don't need this helmet. I can go ahead and wear this helmet, or I can change my pants and I can wear an exotic helmet. It's basically trying to create the best build possible using your armor for the weapons that you are currently using, because that's what's going to be important. Also, this is important. If you want to use your melee a lot, maybe you want to have your strength higher. If you want to have more grenades, you want to have your discipline higher. Or if you want to be using your super more often, you want to have your intellect higher. So when I'm running with Arc Blade, I will usually try and get this to be as low as it possibly can. Let's change my helmet because this makes no sense. So this is a really good build for me when I'm using Arc Blade, because when I go ahead and use Arc Blade, I usually use Fast Twitch, which reduces the cooldown of Blink Strike. So I don't need to have high strength. I'd much prefer to have high discipline and high intellect so I can have more grenades, more super, and I also will naturally be getting more melee because of how I build my Arc Blader. So you just go and change, same thing. If I want to switch to Hard Light, I will go ahead and change my arms to use, where are my arms? Here they are. Increased reload speed with auto rifles. It's just creating your armor, creating your build, these things right here, to optimize what you are currently using and what you are trying to do. And this is pretty important. A lot of people don't seem to really think about it. I see people just being level 32, and that's cool and all, but you can definitely make better use of the armor that you have. That's why I have so many different arms, although I don't really need all of these. I'm currently leveling these because they have increased melee attack speed, and that's always good. But sometimes in PvE, I'll switch to this to have more sniper and more hand cannon. In salvage and skirmish and stuff like that, I'll switch to this because I can revive teammates faster, and it's special weapons and hand cannons. So it's really just about picking armor that is going to benefit the weapons that you're using and the build that you want to use when you're going into the Crucible. Your level doesn't matter. This ain't no Iron Banner. If we're just playing regular Crucible, we're just looking for those pure stats that are going to increase our reload speeds and make our discipline, strength, and intellect to where we want it to be. So now I just want to show you guys what difference it actually makes when you have these arms that are increasing your reload speed. So first of all, let's start out with hand cannon, and we're gonna start out with arms that do not increase our reload speed. So this is using the standard speed. I don't have any kind of buffs to my reload speed. This is how it's gonna be reloading the Word of Crota without any kind of buffs. Now this is gonna be the reload speed with those gloves buffing our reload speed, and as you can see, it is a significant difference. And when you're in PvP, that difference can mean the difference between life and death. Now switching to the pulse rifle, this is going to be the reload speed with just the standard gloves. And then next up we have the reload speed with the gloves that are going to be increasing our reload speed. I'm saying reload speed and difference like way too much. It's driving me insane. And this increase to reload speed is going to be more noticeable on some weapons than others. So Hardlight, for example, actually has a decent reload speed as it is, whereas some weapons like Thorn and Invective that have a slower reload speed, also Hawkmoon it's really noticeable on, these gloves that are increasing your reload speed are actually going to make a significant difference to those weapons that tend to be on the slower side of reloading. So with the ones that have a decent reload speed anyway, you might not notice that much of a difference and you'd be like, yeah, it's a little faster, but it's not that much of a difference to go ahead and buy gloves so that I can reload faster. But with ones that reload on the slower side, you are going to want to get gloves that go with each of those weapons that you are wanting to use. So I hope you guys will be able to get something helpful from this video. It's just something that I noticed that not a lot of people do, and I was switching between my weapons and switching between my armor, and I was just like, I don't think many people do this because everyone just gets their raid armor and they just rock their raid armor. Whereas in the Crucible, not only can we change all of our armor to change our stats based on what we're using, but we can look cool. I mean, some raid armor looks pretty cool, but you all look the same, you know? Everyone looks the same. They all get the level 32 raid armor and they all just wear the same thing, and everyone wears Glow-Hoo most of the time. We can look different in the Crucible. We can rock different armor and different shaders and do whatever we want because we're PvPers and that's how we do. But that is going to wrap up the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I would like to show you the rest of this gameplay because it's a pretty awesome game. So I might throw in the end of this gameplay onto another informational video maybe one day. Things happened. It got really real at some points of this game. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will speak to you awesome people later. Bye.